up here on the Superior Hiking Trail, and it's the day after Christmas, and all through the woods, not a creature was stirring, not even, whoa, look it, it's Runner. It's Runner.
Hey.
You're out of hibernation.
I am out of hibernation.
Wow, we missed you.
We certainly missed you guys too.
Runner's been hibernating, and it's good to see you. The Superior Hiking Trail is a footpath routed mostly along the ridgeline overlooking Lake Superior on the Minnesota North Shore. It has 296 miles of main trail and 17 miles of spur trails. Panoramic overlooks of Lake Superior and the Sawtooth Mountains, inland forests, lakes, and rivers are abundant. At many points, the trail follows rivers and creeks, often for distance of a mile or more, showcasing waterfalls, rapids, bends and deep gorges where rushing water over thousands of years have cut into the layers of the ancient volcanic bedrock. The trail is marked well. The entire trail is marked by blue painted rectangles. Spur trails and overlooks are painted white. Well, hello there.
Hello there.
Woo. He's strutting. Just like you, Runner. Yeah, he's sitting there strutting. You see him in there? He's got some little hens around here. Oh, man. Six of them just sitting in the tree right here watching us as we're going by. So that's really cool. What do you think, Runner?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Wildlife for a change, huh?
Yeah. Even in the wintertime, you see beautiful wildlife. It's just gorgeous here. We're getting gas at a gas station. We told someone we're going up here on the Superior Hiking Trail camping. And she said, "Are you crazy?" And after seeing all this, man, people not coming up here, are you crazy? Onion River is right down below. Now the temperature right now is 36 degrees, which is about 1.5 Celsius. It's been raining all day, and right now it's just foggy. But what's happening is the rain is dripping out of the trees, so I'm gonna have to set up my tarp first. I always like to set up the hammock first before I set up the tarp, but with that rain dripping down on it, you don't want to be wet in the wintertime. I went and got myself a new shovel, bought it at Fleet Farm. My old plastic one kept breaking. I think I went through 2 of them the last couple of years. And this was made out of aluminum, and it's really slick. It folds up real nicely. Take that off. Great for packability. And this top comes off too, so you can put it in a pack. I gotta tell you, this is really slick. I think Runner's gonna be jealous when he sees this new shovel.
Wait
Oh,
a
hey,
minute.
what?
I think
What?
there's a little bit more to add to that story.
What?
I had to get a new one last year because you kept breaking
What?
yours, so you borrowed mine and
What?
you broke my plastic
What?
one. If you recall. So I bought this one last year. It's very similar to the one the Marine has, but this has a nice curved handle.
Wow.
So ergonomically
Look at his
comfortable.
is, yeah, look at the color. His
Yeah.
is a little, you can see it's a little bit larger.
Yeah,
He's
I
got an orange, it's a little
you
more
know, I
got
more of a
Now I'm feeling a little bit bummed about
elaborate
this.
color, but you know, Marine, I don't know if you noticed this one here, but check it out.
Whoa.
Yeah, look at, I can put this down that way.
For you mountain climbers, boy, you could sit there and climb those mountains. Boy, this is really slick.
Isn't that sweet?
There you go.
Right, Marine, wait a minute. Come on back here with my shovel.
Well, it's good to have my buddy Runner back up here.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Woo! Now the tarp I'm using is a War Bonnet Superfly, and I modified it by putting a single pole in the middle, sewed in a little pocket there. And there's a little clip here to hold that pole in place. Put it back in the pocket. Now with this pole module like this, I don't have it staked down. It's not windy, so I can get underneath here and set up my hammock real easily, move around in here. This holds it up, and kind of like a porch mode. Now on the end of my doors, I have Velcro. Pull it open, and you just go right out the door. When it gets windy and cold, just take the Velcro, stick them together. Now the underquilt that I'm using is from Hammock Gear. It's a 3/4 length underquilt. It's a Phoenix. It's a 0 degree. I have 4 extra ounces of down in here, so this will get me down to easily 10 below zero, which is about -17 Celsius. Now the top quilt that I'm using is from Hammock Gear, and this is the Burl, and this is only a 20 degree top quilt. It has 2 extra ounces of down, I believe, and this will keep me warm because the temperatures are supposed to get down maybe into the teens, mid-teens, which would be about -10 Celsius. So I really didn't need a top quilt that is a 0 degree, so I went with this one, a little bit lighter. But since it's a 3/4 length underquilt, my feet will hang out to here. So in my top quilt, I have a seat pad that I'll put in there from Thermarest, and this is nice and soft, and my feet will stay on top of that with my top quilt around my feet, and that'll keep my feet nice and warm. Now I will always use an underquilt protector, and this is from 2QZQ, and this is really easy to set up. Now there's a toggle on the side, and you can cinch them down, each side of them down, so it holds snug against the underquilt. And the reason why I use this is mainly because I have a lot of money in underquilts, and I want to protect it if it's rainy out, or today it's real humid because of the fog, and the moisture is kind of all around, even though it's winter time. And also this will protect the wind from coming in here, and really will keep my underquilt nice and toasty warm underneath me. It's lunchtime. Usually we stop at Subway and pick up a Subway, and we would eat the sandwich for breakfast, and the other half we'd come up here, have it for lunch. We got to Two Harbors. First they were open at 7 o'clock, and then they changed it to 8 o'clock, so we started a little bit later. We came here. Lo and behold, they open up at 9 o'clock. So we went to a gas station, bought these sandwiches.
Yeah.
Where's the meat?
Where's the beef?
Oh,
Where's the meat?
there's one slice of meat on there.
Look at that. Mostly bread. Bread.
Oh,
Cheap.
look at it.
You know? Lord, just thank you for this opportunity to get away. the ability to do it, for the strength and endurance that you've provided for us. Please bless this trip, bless our fellowship, and you always just bless us with your gift of nature and the outdoors. So again, thank you for this food and this time. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Anything would be good in the outdoors.
Yeah.
Got all the chores done, and now I'm going to put on my camp clothes, change my boots. I brought some camp boots up. Take my gaiters off. And when I came in, I had vapor barrier socks. So I'm going to take my vapor barrier socks off. And then air them out. A little damp, not too bad. Turn these inside out. Put my socks back on, these wool socks. These are dry. And I'm going to change my pants, so turn around. Got some fleece pants. And then I got some rain pants. I'm going to put these down booties on. This is what I'll be sleeping with. In my camp shoes, I have Neil's slip-on boots. And I have a wall insert in there for the bottom, give me more insulation in the cold. And these are nice. You can see how these guys open up really wide, so you can put your feet in there. Just Velcro these up. They got a little snap. Tighten them up. And I'm ready to go down by the fire. All I have to do is, when I come to bed, take off these rain pants, take off my rain jacket, and I just slide right in. I don't have to put anything on. All my camp clothes that I'm going to be sleeping in, my sleeping clothes, are nice and warm. So I just take off a few layers and I slide right into my hammock there, into the underquilt, and
that's how you do it. You stay nice and warm. You don't have to put on cold clothes. So I'm ready to go get a fire. As soon as I'm done, bedtime, I just slide right in.
Got all my camp clothes on. I'm all settled in. Gonna start the fire, and then we're gonna cook our food. I always bring Polish sausage the first day, that or brats. I was gonna bring steaks up in a little grill, but didn't do that. I wish I would have. The temperatures are perfect for that. We could have brought a lot of meat up here. We wouldn't have to worry about it freezing. It would have held just perfect with this temperature. So it's too bad that we didn't. Could even had eggs up here. I don't think the eggs would have froze. Could have had bacon in the morning and eggs. Yeah, next time. Runner's over there getting his camp clothes on. So I'm waiting for Runner to get out here so we can get that fire going. What a beautiful day. The rain stopped, still cloudy. Onion River is down that way. And then there's a ledge over here, I'll overlook. That wood is saturated.
Yeah. Runner's trying to get this fire going. The sticks and the wood is just soaking wet from the rain and then the snow melting down on them. And so what we're trying to do is dry it out with birch bark. The birch bark is wet, but the birch bark, even though it's wet, it has an oil on there. It will always burn. Got my little candle lantern. I use this in the wintertime. I don't bring it in the summertime. It gets dark early in the wintertime, especially now. It's the 26th of December. The 21st is, of course, is solstice, and it's the shortest time of the year. So this will be burning for at least a couple hours. Runner almost got that fire going. We'll get our dinner going and sit by the fire the rest of the night, winding her down. It's a cool little lantern. This will burn for about 8 hours. And the wax that I'm using, instead of regular wax, I'm using beeswax because that burns a little bit longer. This has got to last me 2 nights. Runner just informed me that he has a candle lantern also. Copycatter.
Copycatter, that's right. I only copy the good stuff.
You got to make sure you take the cap off the lighter.
Yeah, you got that right, buddy.
Look at that. Pull up the glass before it gets hot. You burn your fingers.
Would be the first time.
Look at that. That is slick. That's kind of a nice one. A little bit of sparks. Well, we got the dogs going. Got a good set of coals, so now that it's hot and the coals are really going well, we can put any type of wood on there, any type of wet wood on there, and it's going to burn. So I'm going to eat this bad boy. Put it on a bun and some mustard and chow down.
Well, good morning. It's the second day. I slept about 10 hours in that hammock. Went to bed about 8 o'clock. We stayed up until the fire was out. We ran out of wood. Well, how'd you sleep?
Great. I slept great. I slept more hours than I have in one night for a long time. Woke up a few times, of course, to get up, but man, I was comfy, cozy. With my top quilt, it was a 20 degree. I had long underwear on and some really warm clothes, so I was really comfy, really warm last night. Not too warm, but really comfortable. So slept a lot, slept well.
Yeah, with that 20 degrees top quilt, I was warm. I had to open it up to regulate the heat because I was getting a little too warm. You don't want to sweat up here, so you got to make sure that you open up the top quilt and cool off a little bit. But I got up about 2 times yesterday to go to the bathroom, and right now the temperature is around 20 degrees, which is -7 Celsius, so it's not too cold. Tomorrow morning is supposed to get down into the teens. But what we're going to do today is, after we eat breakfast, we're going to head up to Oberg Mountain, climb up there and check that out. Light that bad boy.
We have ignition. Look at that.
Woo! And what stove are you using?
It's called a Fancy Feast. The Marine got me onto this stove. At first, I was not very excited about it, to be honest with you. But I really like this little stove.
What were you hesitant about?
I used to use the propane stuff, like a lot of camping people. But this is lightweight, works great. We use the alcohol we use is the Yellow Candle Heat, brand name Heat. That you'd put in your gasoline in your car.
So, what is your opinion between the propane stove and the alcohol stove? What do you like about the alcohol stove?
After I started to use the Fancy Freeze, it switched over from the propane stove. I really learned to love the Fancy Feast stove. It really does work great for me. It's lightweight, really packable, and it seems to heat up the water really fast. And I don't know, I just really like it. I like it much better than the propane. And I was really a hard sell at first. The Marine said, you got to order this Fancy Feast alcohol stove. That's what you need. And I really kind of pushed back a little bit on that. I wanted to stick with what I had confidence in, but now I got more confidence in the Fancy Feast than anything. So this works good.
So you can teach old dogs new tricks. On this trip, we were going to bring bacon and eggs, and just didn't have time to get this stuff. I was just so busy, had to pack everything and didn't get a chance to shop. But I brought these bacon and eggs in a little tube. This will have to do. Little sausages up here.
And all kidding aside, I decided to throw in one of these. I had a bunch of these meals at home, and rather than oatmeal for breakfast, I'm going to have some beef stew, making the Marine jealous today.
Well, my spoon will be heading that way. After we get done eating breakfast, we're going to head up to Oberg Mountain, and we're debating whether to bring the snowshoes or to put on ice bikes. And I'm thinking we're going to go with the ice bikes because people been heading up that way, and the path is pretty packed, and it's in the low 20s right now, so it's going to be a frozen crust. So I think the ice bikes might be the way to go. Ice bikes?
Ice bikes.
Ice bikes. These little sausages are great, and they didn't freeze at all. Nice and soft. Like I said, perfect temperatures. What you doing in there?
Oh, I'm just looking for stuff. Organizing.
Now we're getting ready to do our hike to Oberg Mountain, and we're going to put on our ice bikes because last night it was so wet, and now it's colder. The trail is icy and slippery, so we want to put on these ice bikes. And we're hoping that the snow ain't deep, and otherwise we would have used our snowshoes, but I don't think that will be a problem. But these Catula ice bikes are, to me, are the best because they form to your foot really well and they grip. Ready to go. We are camped down over there. If you can see, there's a little white spot down there. That's where we're camped, way down there. That's where the Onion River is. Boy, it's a beautiful day. The sun's out, as you can see. Lake Superior is right there. Mountains over there. What a gorgeous day. Can't ask for a better day. Temperatures are still in the mid-20s, which is about -2 Celsius. So, runner's over there taking pictures of me, taking pictures of him. Those are turkey vultures, and I think they're eyeballing runner. Where are you going? I thought you were supposed to hold my hand. Come here, puppy. 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 Now that was a timber wolf up in northern Minnesota. And up here they have little jackets on here because it gets cold up here. Now we're on Oberg Mountain. There's a spur trail that comes around off the Superior Hiking Trail that leads to this Oberg Mountain overlook. We've been on this part of the trail about 2 years ago, but we didn't take the spur trail. So this is our first time on Oberg Mountain, and with the snow, it's spectacular. What do you think, Runner?
I think absolutely it's a wonderful experience just being out here in the wintertime, and we couldn't have asked for a more beautiful day with the sun shining, about 28 degrees right now. A little bit breezy, but it's just gorgeous. You think being truly blessed, as close as I are, just celebrating Christ's birth over Christmas just a couple days ago, and now we get to experience God's creation out here on just a beautiful day. So I am truly feeling blessed here today to be with the Marine and to be up here experiencing the majesty that we're experiencing now as we walk around this trail here. You think we'd be tired of looking at the Superior Lake here? I know, Lake Superior, but it is a Superior Lake, and I never tire of it. I never get bored with it. I always just love seeing this, especially on a day like today where the sun is shining off of the water, and especially on a beautiful day like today. So we're being truly blessed today.
And you know, you guys, it's really nice. You know, I do solo trips, but it's really nice to have someone with you up here. And there's nothing better than having my buddy Runner here.
I would agree with that, Marine. Love being with you here.
This fall was really tough for me. I had 3 people that are very dear to me pass away. And then I just found out a couple weeks ago my mother has terminal cancer. She only has a few weeks to live. You know, you guys, life is really short. And as I'm getting older, Runner and I are getting older, it gets harder to do things, but man, I just don't want this to end. I have so many years ahead of me, and I want to make the best of it as I can. I want to spend as much time with my family, my loved ones. I've been spending a lot of time with my mother, taking care of her. And you guys, if you are thinking about getting into this backpacking, using a hammock or tent, going out in the woods, it really isn't that difficult. If you have the right gear, the right knowledge, and then take that out into the woods, and that's how you gain experience. And I really suggest to you guys that you have to give it a try. Don't just sit and watch these videos on how to do it or watching other people doing it. You guys need to get out there and do it. It isn't that hard. This trip that Runner and I did wasn't about distance. It was just a short jaunt in. We set up base camp, we did some hiking, got firewood. It was a time for me to relax and just to unwind, and for Runner too, because it's just been a very hard last 3 months and very stressful, and I really needed this to get out, and I'm glad I came out and clear my head and reflect and recharge those batteries to hit it again.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Send a boy to do a man's job. That's what happened. Where do they get off saying that you need?
Watch you don't burn yourself. You're burning. You're burning. You almost went on fire.
I know it.
Holy buckets. That's an expensive burn. If you don't want that Wolburiol, well, those things are made tough, ain't they? I have here pepper beef with rice. It's alpine fare. That's what it looks like in there. Looks like a bunch of little maggots. What do you got, Runner?
Oh, Mountain Man. Mountain Man beef stroganoff.
Mountain Man.
Mountain.
I thought it was Mountain House.
Huh?
Watch out so you don't catch on fire again.
I'm not close to it.
Let's see what you got. You got beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
You said it was beef stew.
No, that's what I had for breakfast.
Oh.
I had beef stew for breakfast.
Ah. Fire's over there. Now we're going to eat our dinner, and I think what we're going to do is sit by the fire for about an hour or so and maybe do a little night hike. Stars are out, so
Yeah.
I think we'll do a little stroll. Go back down by Onion River and head around and up the hill there. Maybe go to an overlook. We'll see.
Yeah.
You made it across the bridge.
Made it across.
So I'm going to send Runner down on the ledge there to get us water tomorrow.
Yeah.
You up for it?
Water is a matter of life and death, so if we have to tie a rope to me, that ledge looks pretty firm right there.
We'll find out. The one thing about winter camping, besides the solitude, is the void of color, light, sound, and also smell. But what we're experiencing now up here is a void of light. It gets dark about 5 o'clock. We're doing a night hike right now, and if it was the summertime, you'd have to wait till 10, 11 o'clock. We're here at 5 o'clock. 7 o'clock right now, we can go out and view the stars. It's just amazing. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's the dark of the moon, I believe, because I don't see any light except for millions of stars. We're on this other ledge that we're kind of heading up towards this overlook. Yeah, winter camping is very beautiful, you guys. It's just not sitting around by the fire, which is great, but you can also do some night hikes, you know, during the nighttime. Man, the stars are just gorgeous tonight. It's just beautiful. What do you think, Runner?
It's really neat. It's a whole different experience by walking down a trail. You're walking by the light that you see on your headlight, and you kind of just go by that. Don't see just a few feet ahead of the trail. And like the Marine was saying, the stars are just awesome. Everybody should have an opportunity to experience the woods in the wintertime and at night when you get that quietness and stillness, and there's really no comparison to that. We love being out in the woods all the time, but this is just it's really special in the wintertime. So, and we got a really nice night too. It's about 22 degrees. I don't know what that is Celsius, but
it's about a -3 Celsius. And if you never had a chance to do a night hike in the wintertime, you really got to give it a try, or even camping in the wintertime. And this is just one of the things that you can do. But there's a lot of work too involved, because you have to get the firewood, you have to set up camp, dig out. So
sometimes
it's a little bit,
you got to get water.
You got to get water. You got to heat the water at night.
Chore.
Yep. And there's a lot of chores, and it's easier with 2 people. With Runner up here, we can split the chores, or he can help a lot with wood. You got 2 people cutting wood, one batoning or splitting, cutting the limbs off. Works really well. So this is just a wonderful experience to be up here in the North Woods at nighttime. If you have never tried it, give it a try. It's not hard to do. It's very simple. Good morning, everyone. It's got to be about 6:30 in the morning. Probably in the low
teens, which is -10 Celsius. Stayed warm in this, but I could see that in between my body and the top quilt was warm. But when you touch the top quilt, it was, you can feel it getting a little cool. So this was pushing it, this 20-degree top quilt. But I did sleep good, and I was nice and toasty warm. Had to get up twice to go to the bathroom, which was tough. But last night there was a pack of coyotes that were around our camp, and they're yiping and howling a little bit. So that was kind of cool. So I'm gonna get up, start taking things down. I got my pants inside my top quilt. I'm trying to warm it up. And then in a minute, I'll take off my fleece pants inside my top quilt. And then I'll put on my pants so they'll be nice and warm. And then I'll try to get on my cold boots because they'll be frozen, and slide them in and walk around a little bit, warm up, and then start taking camp down. So better get going. Runners over there, I can hear them milling around over there. It's time to go.
Now we're really having a hard time getting these snow stakes out. When we came in here 2 days ago, it was raining, the snow was really wet. We put these in. We didn't even have to let it cinder too long because it just froze. And over this period of time, it's just a solid ice blocks, and we're trying to dig them out.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work, isn't
it is a lot of work. Got my exercise for the morning here. Didn't even need to check into the club, so.
Yeah, they're froze solid in there.
They are.
But I only put in one snow stake. When I come into an area, especially in the wintertime, I'll use some type of cordage to attach to a tree to tie down my tarp. If I have to, then I'll use a snow stake. Well, this ends our trip, this well-needed trip, and it was just great to be back out in the woods, let alone in the wintertime. It is so peaceful. I had a great time out here. Had time to just think things out and spending time with Runner. We had the fire last night, well, last 2 nights, and boy, you guys, it's just so beautiful to be out in the woods at this time of the year. Wake up in the morning as the sun is rising. A little cloudy, but we had the red colors. You guys, if you ever get a chance, you got to take it and go out and camp in the wintertime. What do you think, Runner?
This was really a beautiful setting. It was a nice weekend. Me and my Marine, we haven't been on a trip since I think it was last May.
Yeah.
And so it was great to get out with my buddy Marine again, and we just to talk. You know, like you said, think things out, just clear your head. We had a beautiful day yesterday, and great fires both nights, and good food, and you just really got nothing to complain about. So Looking forward to getting out in the woods here again real soon.
Well, this is the Marine.
And the runner.
Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Oh.
Well, we're on Oberg Mountain.
Excuse me.